Who should the Cleveland Browns start at quarterback? They got 4 quarterbacks on the roster, and one of them's going to have to start. So who shall it be? We're going to kind of break down in this video who the 4 quarterbacks are and who should be starting for them at the beginning of the year or maybe halfway through. Because honestly, when you have 4 quarterbacks, the likelihood is one of them will start the season and one will probably take over. That's what happens when you don't have a set starter. You got a couple rookies on the roster. So let's get right into this. We're going to start with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is the obvious choice to be the guy who starts the season for you. It's pretty obvious. He led you to the playoffs 2 years ago. He is the most experienced. He is the guy who's going to win you the most football games. Now, here's the thing. Is that Cleveland's goal? Obviously, it's the coaches, GMs. But is it the franchise's goal? Does it benefit them to start Joe Flacco? In my opinion, not really. Because, yeah, Flacco will win you games, and you will be competitive with Joe Flacco as your starting quarterback, but what will evidently cost you in the grand scheme of things is you're not learning much about these rookies. Flacco is not the future. He's like 39 or something like that. He's old. He's pushing 40 if he's not in the 40s now. He might be in the 40s. And he's not the future. Sure, he might give you a good chance to make a potential playoff run this year, be good, because Flacco slings the rock like nobody else. He might turn the ball over a ton, but he will score you a ton of touchdowns, and your defense is good enough to obviously make that work, as he proved 2 years ago. But the biggest problem with Flacco is he's not the future. All 3 guys on the roster outside of him is just younger. They're better, not necessarily better, but they're younger and they're better prospects for the future. One of these guys could be your future quarterback. Flacco will not be your future quarterback. He is probably done after this year. Maybe one more year he has in him. It's not much longer before Flacco is just done with the team overall. Moving on to Kenny Pickett, though, I think Kenny Pickett is the type of guy who should be the 3rd string, let's be honest. He should not be the starter. He should not be the 2nd string. The starter should be Flacco and then a rookie, and then a rookie swaps with Flacco. But it shouldn't be Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has been proven not to be very good. He was in Pittsburgh, who had a good system, and he did absolutely nothing. And then he goes to Philly, and, whatever. He was a backup, never really saw the field too much. He didn't look great in the one game he did get into. I'm not big on small hands. Kenny Pickett, to me, is just not the guy. I mean, if you want him to go out there and not make a ton of mistakes and let your defense win your games, Kenny Pickett might be the guy for that. But overall, I don't think Kenny Pickett is the guy you should go as the starting quarterback, as he just doesn't bring much to the table. And as much as he is younger than Flacco, we already know what he is. He's not good. Let's be honest. He's been to 2 good organizations and hasn't looked good in those games. Yes, he's won a Super Bowl and technically played in one, but it's not the same thing, right? So I don't think Kenny Pickett is the right choice either. I think, honestly, the right choice is going to be the guy to talk last. But let's get into Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel's getting cut. Let's just be real here. He's not making the roster, and he shouldn't technically be the starter at any point. They did draft him in the 3rd round, so they might keep him around. But when you have 2 rookie quarterbacks and one of them looked a lot better than the other, I don't see them sticking with Dillon Gabriel in that situation. Whew. Because Dillon Gabriel has looked terrible in camp. And we'll see how the preseason plays out. Gabriel might play well in the preseason and might earn that 3rd quarterback roster spot over Kenny Pickett. But right now, I think he's getting cut. He'll live on the practice squad. He shouldn't have been drafted in the 3rd round. He should have been drafted ahead of the other guy I'm about to talk about in this video. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's not much to say. He's looked terrible in training camp. That's never a good sign, and it's just not going to work. Let's be completely honest. And finally, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur is the guy who I think should be the starter. I mean, let's be honest here. He was supposed to be a 1st rounder. Obviously, he had attitude issues. He's looked good in training camp, and he's overall just been the better rookie quarterback. Let's be honest here. He's always was the better rookie quarterback. Just all those attitude issues in the draft process causing him to fall is why he's here. But my opinion is what they will probably overall do is they're going to start Joe Flacco, because obviously you don't want to start the rookie quarterback at the beginning of the year unless you have no other real options, right? Especially the guy who was drafted in the 5th round. And over the season, Flacco will either win them games or they will lose a few games, or Flacco might even get hurt, and then they will go to Shedeur Sanders. Gabriel and Pickett will probably never see the field for them. One of them's getting cut. The other one's going to be the 3rd string. I would imagine Gabriel gets cut and signed to the practice squad. I don't see anybody picking him up. He's not been good. So I just don't see that happening, and I think that's how it's going to play out. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Who should Cleveland go with? Who should be the starter overall? Do you think it's Shedeur, Flacco, Pickett, or Gabriel? But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.